Hi everybody, Matt Bernier here at the Daily Racing Forum Studios, taking a look at the formulator race of the day for this coming Thursday. That would be November the 16th, race number 6 from Penn National, and it's brought to you by our friends at Penn National. You can take a look. This is the field. It is non-winners of 2 other than, or the horses are in for the optional claiming tag of $25,000. Head on over to the Race of the Day page on DRF.com. You can get your free formulator past performances. We'll go right in post position order. It won't be in actual numerical order simply because of the entry, and they're going to be breaking from different posts in post position order. Though the number 2 is Athelstane. This is a horse Harry Demetrio has this one now. Looks a little bit slow on paper. It's going to be hard for me to envision this one getting the job done. Second or third 15 times from 37 lifetime starts, but 3 of the 4 victories came here at Penn National. I would look at this horse and say underneath best used. And if you really wanted to get aggressive and use a big horse on top, maybe you could, but for me, underneath at most. The number 3 is Our Pretty Boy Floyd for David Jacobson. Jacobson ships down to Penn National occasionally, and based on this formulator fact, you can see that it's usually a pretty positive move over the past 3 years at Penn National for Jacobson. 10 for 26, that's a 38% strike rate with a $1.93 ROI. Our Pretty Boy Floyd, the biggest knock here is this horse has had multiple opportunities at this level, at this condition, the non-winners of 2 other than. You just look at it and say second or third 17 times from 38 lifetime starts. He's 0 for 2 here at Penn National. 3 starts back he did win, but that was in a 25 starter allowance, and he was the 4-5 favorite, and he only won by a nose over Vince Ramos, who we know is Vince Ramos in his day. He's a little bit camera shy. So I don't know. There's a couple of things that I think he's a very likely horse to hit the board. I just don't know what kind of value he'd offer. He's 5-2 on the morning line. To me, that's far too short. I would need him to go up from there, and even then I would be thinking he could be an underneath sort of horse only. One part of the coupled entry in here is the number 1, Brugeville. This is another horse that I just look at on paper and say going to need to jump up in a big, big way. Of the coupled entry, I do wonder if this horse is the one that maybe you want to take a shot with. I know 1 for 16 doesn't look very good, but the other horse on the far outside, the 1A, Andy's Love, is 4 for 39, and you look and just see at this level just completely outmatched in those races 2 and 3 starts back. At least the plain one, is not completely exposed at this level, but is going to get some significant class tests here in this spot. The number 4 is Monongahela. This is a horse for Kelly Rubley. The most recent race, there was a big pace to run at, came with a little bit of a bid down on the inside, but I have to be honest, it just felt like was passing tired horses. Don't know how much running this horse was really doing. I don't mind the Beyer speed figure. I know at face value it looks like it's just something astronomical and completely different than anything else, and it happened to come over a sloppy racetrack. If you look at the Timeform US ratings, this horse is actually very, very competitive, and from the Timeform US pace projector, you can see that it doesn't look like it's going to be a blistering pace up front. I do think you're going to have a handful of horses that want to be forwardly placed, but at the end of the day, that may compromise a horse like Monongahela, where you really do kind of want that one run, that one kind of kick down the lane. I know this one has shown in the past that he can be a little bit more handy and get into the running, but I do think his best runs come from when he's well off the pace. He's another one I would be using underneath, and it seems like that's a common theme, and for me it is with this race, because I feel like a lot of the known commodities, the horses that we've seen recently, I'm not in love with them. The 5 Gold Braid, though, is a little bit of a fresh face, a new shooter in here. For these connections that we know that they're capable of doing good things, positive things, the run most recently down at Laurel was off the turf. I think it's something to keep in mind. This horse during this 2017 campaign, many of these races after that layoff coming from April and into June, they're supposed to be on the turf. 2 of the 5 actually ran on the turf. 2 of them were washed off, including the most recent start. Started drifting out a little bit down the lane. Didn't love to see that, but I've got to be honest, this horse was really, really strong. I love the way that he finished. Popped back to the left lead at the end there. The 107 Timeform US rating makes him certainly a player. Visually, I thought it was just kind of blah 2 starts back, but it's worth noting that early pace, I think, made things look a little bit tougher than this horse really wanted to show at 7/8 of a mile. Getting back out to 2 turns, I don't think that's a problem. 1 for 1 at this mile, 70 yards, and 2 for 2 in the exacta at Penn National, including a victory. The 6 Holiday Touch, that most recent start, I thought it was a bit of a merry-go-round. You've got some common names in there. Our Pretty Boy Floyd was also in that spot. I thought this horse Holiday Touch set a perfect trip, and I didn't think there was really any excuse. Visually, it was unimpressive to me. This is one I think is going to take a little bit of money. You go to that start 2 back, handled by Monongahela, and I understand that was over a sloppy racetrack, but there's very little for me to look and say too positive about Holiday Touch. Another horse that I would be thinking underneath only. Very, very interested in the number 7, Get the W. Get the W was in that race I just touched on with Holiday Touch and Monongahela, but that was this horse's first start off of a little bit of a layoff and stretching out in distance for Alan Goldberg. Contested the early pace. I know that pace setter that day was ultimately the one that went on to win. That was Unbridled Daddy, but I do think Get the W maybe needed that one, get a little bit tired late. Now we think maybe a step forward here, and again, if you look at the pace projector, should be able to get out there. I don't know if you're going to be clear on the lead, but I think this horse is certainly going to be forwardly placed. An interesting player in here, the number 7, Get the W. And that leaves us with the number 8, Spites Hill. This is a horse that, I hate to say it, you look at it when this horse tried this level last time out and 3 starts back, just no match for this company. I do wonder if you need a little bit of class relief, most notably a race like that one 2 starts back. That was a 16 starter allowance down at Delaware. I just wonder if that's probably where this horse fits a little bit better. If you believe the Timeform US ratings, though, 2 starts back earned a 112, 3 starts back earned a 105. Those are certainly competitive in this bunch. This is race number 6 on Thursday night at Penn National. Let's take a look and see ultimately where I decided to go. I do think Get the W is interesting, but I have to be honest. I like the fact that Gold Braid, coming up from Laurel, has a little bit of tactical speed, can be forwardly placed, doesn't need to have the lead. The distance isn't any sort of a problem. I like a horse that is 11 times in the money from 15 lifetime starts, has success at Penn National, has success at the distance. The question comes down to price. 4 to 1 on the morning line. I would take this horse at 4 to 1. That's actually what I pegged him at. And in order, my numbers would go 5, 7, 3, 4 for me in the Thursday formulator race of the day. If you're playing the 6th at Penn National at home, check out DRF Bets. We've got all sorts of good deals for you, particularly this one, a $300 sign-up bonus. Use the promo code FALL300. DRF.com/fall is the address. Scheduled post time for the Thursday formulator race of the day. Race 6 at Penn National is 8:16 Eastern. Good luck.